The universe had one instruction: cancel itself out. It failed. You are what survived the failure. In 2010, inside a tunnel 17 miles long, buried under the Swiss border, a team of physicists did something that had never been done in the history of the universe. They caught nothing. Not nothing as in they failed, nothing as in they reached into the fabric of reality and grabbed the one substance that shouldn't exist, antimatter, and held it still for the first time since the Big Bang. They had one rule in that room: don't make a mistake, because a mistake didn't mean a failed experiment. It meant annihilation. Matter and antimatter touch, both disappear, instantly, completely, as if they were never there. They held it for 1/10 of a second. Then they asked the question they'd built the machine to answer: why does anything exist at all? The antimatter didn't answer. It just sat there, existing, against every law that said it shouldn't, and neither did the universe. Here's what the physics actually says. At the Big Bang, the universe produced equal amounts of matter and antimatter, equal and opposite, perfect symmetry. They should have found each other, annihilated completely, and left nothing behind. No stars, no planets, no time, no you. But for every billion particles of antimatter, the universe also produced 1,000,000,001 particles of matter. One extra. That asymmetry, that single surplus particle, is the reason everything exists. You are not here because the universe intended you. You are here because the universe miscounted. Or did it? The most precise equations in the history of science have no answer for why that one extra particle existed. You are the descendant of a rounding error. The universe had one job: cancel itself out, return to nothing. Clean, symmetrical, resolved. It failed, and everything you have ever seen, touched, thought, or felt is the consequence of that failure. The sun, the ground, the people you love, the problems that keep you awake, every atom, debris from a calculation that didn't resolve cleanly. If existence is a rounding error, if the universe produced you without intention, without design, then every framework you've built your life inside is a structure erected on a miscalculation. Your sense of purpose, your fear of insignificance, your need to matter. Here's what most people miss. The rounding error didn't just produce existence. It produced the only thing in the known universe capable of being bothered by existence. Every other consequence of that asymmetry, every star, every galaxy, simply is. It doesn't wonder why. It doesn't ask what it's for. You do. The universe's miscalculation generated the only thing that can look back at the rounding error and find it extraordinary. Every other object in the universe simply participates. You participate and observe simultaneously. The rounding error produces its own witness. And that witness has spent thousands of years trying to answer the question. Leibniz asked it in 1714. Wittgenstein spent his career trying to dissolve it and concluded it might not be a real question at all. Just a sentence that feels like one. Hawking built equations around it and ended up describing why it can't be answered rather than answering it. The universe produced something capable of asking the one question the universe cannot answer about itself. You are a rounding error asking why rounding errors exist. Here's what this does to every problem you currently have. Your problems are real, but every problem you have exists inside the prior fact that you are here to have it. And you being here required a 1 in a billion asymmetry in the first second of a universe that was designed by its own equations to produce nothing. You have spent your entire life treating your existence as the baseline, the unremarkable given from which everything else is measured. Physics says it was the least likely outcome. The crisis you're carrying right now is real. It is also happening inside something that had no business happening at all. That's not comfort. That's perspective with teeth. You've spent your whole life trying to figure out what you're worth. Physics already answered that. You are a rounding error, 1 in a billion, and you're still here. The question was never whether you matter. The question is what you do with an existence that was never supposed to happen.